Democracy. Democracy is basically balanced by three pillars, that is the judiciary, the legislative and the executive. And in this today's modern era, the democracy is lined up towards its fourth pillar, that is media. And to give the status of the freedom of this media in India, recently a very important report was being released, that is India Press Freedom Report 2021. So hello everyone, a warm welcome to all of you in the today's daily current affairs session on EduTab, and today we are going to discuss the India Press Freedom Report 2021. But before starting the session, if you are new to our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And you can also join our Telegram channel to get the access to the PDF of the sessions. To join the Telegram channel, kindly click on the link given in the description below. So now let's move on to the session. Let's get started. And here when we talk about the India Press Freedom Report 2021, see, whenever we cover any report, we always tell you that the very first dimension that is required to be covered is the releasing body of that particular report, and this report has been released by the Rights and the Risk Analysis Group. This is a Delhi based group. Okay, so now my dear learners, when we talk about this particular report, this report gives us the data basically about the attacks which has been recorded across India on the press freedom in India, which includes different incidents such as the arrest and detention of the journalists, the killing of journalists in India, the physical attacks or threats which have been recorded in India, as well as the different kind of summons and show cause notices which has been sent to the journalists in India. So when we talk about the state or union territory which have recorded the highest number of such kind of cases, then this answer can be very easily answered by the help of this particular headline of the Hindu newspaper, that is J&K, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Tripura has topped in the attacks on journalists in year 2021. So that means that if even you have just read about the headline of this The Hindu newspaper, then also you will be able to answer this question very easily. So my dear learners, there are various times that you can easily answer the question from the headline itself. So these headlines are also very important. Okay, so now when we talk about the list of the top 5 states and union territories which have recorded the highest number of attacks on journalists in year 2021, then it was topped by Jammu and Kashmir with 25 such incidents, followed by Uttar Pradesh with 23 incidents, followed by Madhya Pradesh 16, Tripura 15 and Delhi with the total of 8 such incidents against these journalists. Okay, so now see, this particular important dimension has been cleared, that is which was the top which particular state or union territory has topped the attacks on journalists in year 2021. And now let's move on to some other important findings from this particular report. And this report says that in year 2021 a total of 121 journalists and media houses and newspapers were targeted across the country, among which 108 were journalists and 13 media houses and newspapers. And this report also stated that at least 6 scribes were killed. Okay, so now when we talk about the laws that were mostly invoked against the journalists and media houses in year 2021 across India, then these include the cases for sedition, wantonly giving provocation with intent to cause riots, promoting enmity between the religious groups, imputations, assertions prejudicial to the national integration, and some other as well. And this report also stated that Jammu and Kashmir recorded the maximum attacks by the state actors, while Tripura had the most cases of attacks by the non-state actors. Now my dear learners, we have some additional point here from this particular report which states that in 2021 the Enforcement Directorate and the Income Tax Department have raided various offices of the journalists as well as media houses. And what exactly was the reason? Because these particular journalists and media houses were critical of the policies and functioning of the governments. And now with this report we can also link another very important report which is being released every year, that is the World Press Freedom Index, which is being released by the Reporters Without Borders. And when we talk about the India's position in the 2021 World Press Freedom Index, then India's position was 142nd out of 182 countries with a score of 46.56. Okay, so you can also remember this particular part as well, which can be asked in the exam, linking this with that particular report which has been released recently. So now there is a practice question which is based on this India Press Freedom Report 2021, and here you are required to just tell me the correct statement in relation with the India Press Freedom Report 2021. So the very first statement says about the releasing body that it has been released by New Delhi based rights group, that is Rights and Risk Analysis Group. Now the second statement says that the highest number of journalists or the media organizations which were targeted in year 2021 was in Delhi with the total number of 25 cases. But as per our today's discussion, this particular list was being topped by Jammu and Kashmir. That means that this statement is incorrect. Now moving towards the third statement, it says that in year 2021, a total of 121 journalists and media houses and newspapers were targeted across the country. And this particular statement is also correct. So the right answer to this question will be option D, that is both statement first and third are correct. So this was one such question which can be asked from this report in the exam. So now my dear learners, I hope that this is very much clear to all of you, and now let's move on to the next question. And this question is basically based on the Charkha Kranti, and you are just required to tell me the name of the organization which was being behind the initiation of this particular Kranti, that is Charkha Kranti. So let's find out the answer by discussing first that why exactly this Charkha Kranti was in the news. See, recently on the 74th Martyrs Day of Mahatma Gandhi, the President of India has unveiled the Mahatma Gandhi's 100 square meter wall mural, and this particular unveiling ceremony was taken place in Sabarmati riverfront in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. So during this particular part, the President of India has mentioned that which is responsible basically behind the exponential growth of khadi industry in India, and the organization which is basically behind this particular exponential growth of khadi in India is the Khadi and Village Industries Commission, which basically works under the Ministry of MSME, and this Charkha Kranti was being launched by KVIC 7 years ago. And under this particular Charkha Kranti, what exactly was happened? KVIC has built several monumental charkhas across the world to propagate Gandhian thoughts and symbolisms of Charkha in India as well as abroad. And when we talk about various KYC initiatives in order to propagate Gandhian thoughts and symbolism of Charkha in India and abroad, then these includes world's biggest wooden and steel charkhas, world's smallest charkha on the wristwatches, then world's largest flag made of khadi fabric, and heritage charkha museum, and such other initiatives. Okay, so that was all from this particular question. And now when we talk about the right answer for this particular question, the right answer for this question will be option A, that is Khadi and Village Industries Commission. Okay, so now when we talk about the googly question from the today's session, then today the googly question is based on the India State of the Forest Report 2021, which is a very important report from the exam point of view. And when we talk about this particular question, it is asking basically the correct statements in relation with this India State of the Forest Report 2021. So kindly analyze these particular statements in relation with the India State of the Forest Report 2021 and answer the question in the comment section below. And now when we talk about the homework question from the previous session, then in the yesterday session, I have asked that what exactly is going to be India's economic growth in the current year as per recently launched Union Budget 2022 and 2023. And the right answer for this particular question is option A, that is 9.2%. And when we talk about the star performers, I am once again very glad to announce that I am having a long list of these star performers, and I am really glad to see your participation in the comment section below. So keep the spirits up. And now when we talk about the star performers, these are Vishal Srivastav, Janani Hansa, Simi, then we have Snehadri, Justin, Shivoham, Yukti, Shri, and Vishal. So if you also want a name to be mentioned here in the upcoming session, then kindly answer this question, that is, which Indian state and union territory has recently become the 35th state and UT to implement One Nation, One Ration Card plan? Whether it was Manipur, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh, or Assam, do answer the question in the comment section below, and I will be giving your names in the upcoming session. And now there is also additional point here that after the implementation of this One Nation, One Card, One Nation, One Ration Card plan in this 35th state, now this ONORC covers 96.8% of the National Food Security Act population across these 35 states and union territories. So my dear learners, that was all from the today's session, and I hope that today's session was useful and fruitful to all of you. And if you are having any queries, you can drop us a mail at hello@edutab.co.in, and you can also call us at 814-620-7241. So thank you for joining us. Wish you all happy learning.